On this edition of the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford.
For Bellinger, I think he's got really good hands. This could be a really good game for him.
Isaiah Hodgins is a guy, big body, could be an answer when it comes down to the red zone.
They want to get you tied up at the point of attack so that the runner can get to the second level.
He didn't hold on to it. When he didn't have to, he let it rip.
Tommy DeVito hits Barkley on a 3rd and goal at the 5 for the touchdown.
And we welcome you to another edition of the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. On Sunday, it's the Giants and Patriots at MetLife Stadium. As always, I'm joined by two-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks and the head coach of the New York Giants, Brian Daboll. And, Coach, obviously the game on Sunday against Washington, your team went out and played a very aggressive brand of football. Was that sort of the mindset going into this game of being extremely forceful, which the way you played it?
Yeah, you know, we try to do that each week, but again, give credit to the players. They went out there and made the plays when they needed to make them. I thought good complementary football game, obviously getting the turnovers, not turning the ball over, getting one on special teams. It was a good team win.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the resilience of your offense? You talked about the complementary football, but it seemed they just kept grinding and grinding until the plays started to happen.
Sure. Yeah, you know, it wasn't, you know, we got that pass to Saquon and got off to a quicker start, which was an area of emphasis. But, you know, there were some plays in there, particularly on early downs, where it was a -2 or a 0 or a 2-yard gain that really, you know, we had a lot of 3rd and longs, I'd say, early on in the game, and we converted on a couple, which helped us out. But again, their mindset to just keep going to the next play. You know, the run game wasn't going great, but we stuck with that. I thought that helped, you know, particularly getting to the perimeter there in the second half. So again, they had the right mindset, the right approach. They kept going to the next play, and it paid off.
Coach, Saquon Barkley had 6 carries for -2 yards in the first half, but he did have the touchdown catch. It felt like when you guys ran that toss and he goes for 36, that it inspired and uplifted the entire team. Was that the way it felt on the sideline?
Yeah, it was great on the sideline, you know, and, you know, I'd say 2 receivers kind of got the play started along with Bellinger, where it was a toss crack play, and Bellinger's down and Shep's down, and they kind of pressure into it, we seal it, and then, you know, little man, Wandell kind of goes outside and gets a big block, and, you know, he was more excited with that block than he was on one of his longer, you know, catch and run plays, which is a great thing. Just, you know, putting the team first and doing things you need to do to help the team be successful is what's most important.
I know the sacks, I mean, every sack has its own story, just like every interception has its own story. But the fact that Tommy DeVito didn't put the ball in harm's way, and then talk about the ball placement, you know, on the touchdown pass to Barkley, or on that 3rd and long to Slayton over the middle. Yeah. And then even on the pass to Barkley off the 5-yard line, if it's behind him at all, it's a pass broken up.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think he did a really good job of putting the ball where he wanted to most of the night. You know, and it allows for catch and run plays. It allows for a touchdown. Again, like you said, if it's an inch off, probably getting tackled and have to make a decision there on 4th down. So he did a nice job. I thought he was calm in the pocket. Some of the sacks, you know, we could have probably avoided, and some they made nice plays on. So the biggest thing I told him, I said, look, you know, he came over to the sideline after another one. I said, if that's the best play to make in that situation, just make sure that you keep the ball. So if there's nothing else you can do and you take a sack, just make sure we end up with the ball. So I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. And I think that, you know, other guys got to do a good job too, because it wasn't all just on the line, or it wasn't all on, you know, the running back, or it wasn't all on the quarterback. It was a collective deal. But the one thing we did do is we didn't give him the ball, which was a key.
Coach, for a young quarterback like that, and I talked about the resilience of the entire group, but there were sacks, like you said, but it seems like when the plays needed to be made, he was willing to stay in there and make the play.
Yeah, and decisive with the football. He didn't hold on to it when he didn't have to. He let it rip. He saw underneath coverage. He moved them with his eyes, or a little pump fake. He threw into some tight windows and trusted the receivers to make the plays. And that's what you need to do to play quarterback in this league. You need to make quick decisions, decisive decisions, and you got to let it rip. And I'd say that, you know, he's done that. Again, we haven't got the results in some of the other games, but he's he's making strides in that, and he'll have a big challenge this week ahead.
Coach, you got a lot of contributions from a lot of different players, right? And sometimes you got to make plays above the X's and O's. And they were in a take-a-shot situation, and Nick McLeod makes an incredible athletic play for his first ever career interception, eventually forces a fumble. What kind of spark does that give a team as well?
Yeah, anytime you can take the ball away, that's a huge boost, particularly early on in the game. And you did it on the special teams, you did it on defense. He's a great young man that works extremely hard, and he's made the most of his opportunities. Tough-minded, strong-willed, and it was a heck of a play.
Coach, we're going to be joined a little bit later on in the show. We'll preview the Patriots. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back here on the program, we'll have sights and sounds of the Giants' win against the Commanders. Just getting started here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford.
What's up, everybody? It's Barkley, running back of the New York Giants, and I'm here with my good friends of Covenant House, New Jersey, and I have some amazing news. It's going to be my 5th year of being the chairman of the Sleep Out Executive Edition, and this year is going to be in MetLife Stadium, December 7th, and I would love for you guys to show love and support. Much love.
Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. On Sunday, it's the Giants and the Patriots at MetLife Stadium, but time for sights and sounds of the Giants' win against the Commanders.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's let loose and have fun. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So 1st and 10 for Washington from their own 35. Howell calls signals, takes the snap, back to throw. Has all day, deep ball, middle of the field, and it's intercepted by the Giants. A diving interception by Nick McLeod at the Giants' 13-yard line. Receiver goes in motion, delayed handoff. Nope, Howell's going to keep it, throw it right, hits the tight end. Ball came out, it's loose on the ground, and it's recovered by the Giants. Logan Thomas had the football, he was running with it, and then he got hit by Micah McFadden. Let's go! Let's go! What? Man. We're trying to Shotgun set for DeVito. Slayton in the left slot. He had the 24-yarder. DeVito back. Lobs one, right corner of the end zone for Barkley, who makes the catch and in for the touchdown. Tommy DeVito hits Barkley on a wheel route, coming off the right side, and the Giants score a touchdown offensively in the first quarter.
That's a great throw. Good catch with the route by Barkley, with the poise and composure by DeVito was what made that happen.
Hey, that does it all. You can't do it. Bro, he had the Tony toe tapper. Then he came through with the. I told you that. When I see you lined up, I'm telling you that. Bro, because they're tricking me, bro. Next play mentality, right? Next play mentality. Just do our job, communicate, great competitive toughness, and then work on it the next play. Communication, competitive toughness, next play. All right? Half for a half, work together. We're going to go ahead and get another one. Here we are.
3rd and a full yard inside the 40. DeVito back to throw. Hasselman, he's got a man down the left side, wide open. Is Slayton at the 15. He's to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Giants! Darius Slayton on a 3rd and 1. Tommy DeVito goes up top. His 2nd touchdown pass of the game, and the Giants now lead it 13-3.
Wow. Hey, take a seat real quick. Little hezzy. Stupid. Oh my Lord. Oh Jesus.
Did he? Crazy.
I know.
You said it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Yeah, Slay.
I bet y'all get another one before you.
No,
I bet I get another one for you.
Yeah, Slay. I bet I do. Now I'm hungry.
I bet I do.
Now, whoa.
I bet I do.
1st and 10 at the Giants 35. Handoff Rodriguez. The ball is loose on the ground. Rodriguez coughed it up, and the Giants say they have it. And they do. 4th turnover by the Commanders. Rodriguez got hit by Okereke as he was going down. And Bobby Okereke punched it out.
Hey! There's more out there. He gonna keep beating us.
So we got 3. We might have 5. So they keep going. They keep going.
Opening minutes of the fourth quarter. Giants trying to add to a 14-12 lead on a 3rd and goal at the 5. DeVito takes the snap back, fires one right to Barkley, makes the catch, reaches for the touchdown. Tommy DeVito hits Barkley on a 3rd and goal at the 5. And DeVito's thrown his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. Barkley with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. And the Giants are now up 20-12 with an extra point pending.
Hell yeah.
I told you I'm getting free. That's green. That's green. That's green. That's my fault.
1st and 15 at the Giant 48. Howell in a shotgun set. Robinson to his left. Howell calls out signals. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Steps up under pressure. Runs out of a sack. Then lobs it. And it's intercepted by Isaiah Simmons. Running down the left sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Giants. Isaiah Simmons with the pick 6 to end it with 16 seconds to go. 3rd interception by Howell, and the Giants take out the broom. They're sweeping Washington again. The final score, the New York Football Giants 31, the Washington Commanders 19.
Hey, take care of business, baby. We blessed. We just got to keep stacking them wins. That's all I got to say.
Hey, 19 with the walk-off, Joe?
I told him throw me one. He really did. All glory to God, though.
Needed that one, huh? Needed that one, huh?
Yeah, man. Everybody.
There you go, kid.
Man, I tell you.
I asked 3 things last night. I asked great communication, player to player, coach to coach, player to coach, coach to player. My checkbox. I asked unmatched energy and competitive toughness for 60 minutes. Checkbox. All right? And I asked next play mentality. Checkbox. Now, enjoy this win, guys. It's a division win on the road. All right? And we're a good football team. Make no mistake about it. We're a good football team. X, break them down. Let's go.
Today, man. Let's keep stacking them, man. Hey, let's celebrate this one today, though. Giants on me, Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3. Giants.
We're just getting started on the program. When we come back, as we continue to look ahead to the Giants and Patriots head-to-head with Paul Dottino and Sean O'Hara after this timeout. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. On Sunday, it's the Giants and Patriots at MetLife Stadium. Patriots are coming off their bye. Giants coming off a win against Washington. Time for head-to-head with Paul Dottino and Sean O'Hara.
Now it's time to go head-to-head for the Giants and the Pats at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. Sean, our first head-to-head matchup is former Giant Jabril Peppers in his 2nd season with New England against tight end Daniel Bellinger. Now, Peppers is having a heck of a season as a cover safety this year. Now, I know he's a lot in the box, but only 15 of 26 completions against him. That is a career-best 58% completion mark. He has also only averaged 8 yards a catch given up. So he's done very, very well this year. And the Giants, they know all about how good he can be.
When you look at the Patriots defense, Jabril Peppers is one of the more versatile safeties in the league. How much of a problem does that give you when you're trying to decipher what they're doing defensively, knowing that he could be anywhere on the field?
Yeah, that just gives them a lot of different options to do different things. So it just makes us have to be more prepared and ready for stuff like that.
When he gets it going, we know he was here for a few years. He can be the heart and soul of a defense because of his emotion, of the way he drives guys. Do you have to kind of take the heart and soul out of him to get to the rest of the defense?
Almost. It's more or less what we need to do for ourselves and focus on what we need to do. And as we get the game going and doing what we need to do on offense, then it just takes it out from naturally.
Well, Daniel Bellinger is still looking for the first touchdown of the season, and of course it would be great to do it against, as you mentioned, the former Giant. Although while they didn't play each other, I know Bellinger knows Jabril Peppers from watching him on film. He's only given up one touchdown on the season, but he's actually got a nice interception earlier this season against Josh Allen, where he kind of sloughed off in coverage and fell into the passing lane. He leads his team with passes defense right there, pass breakups with 6. So he's doing a great job anticipating the throws. And you see Bellinger right there with 12 catches. He's got 8 catches in the last 3 weeks. So his production has really increased. Obviously, with Darren Waller not being there, he's gotten a lot more targets. But what was interesting last week was a little wrinkle, Paul, where you saw Daniel Bellinger line up as a fullback in the backfield. And that was when he had his big 26-yard catch. He's actually had back-to-back 26-yard catches in the last 2 games. He had a 23-yarder against the Raiders a few weeks before that. I think some of those big plays are coming because they're finding different ways to use him and move him around. So here's the battle right here. Jabril Peppers is a crafty veteran. So when Daniel Bellinger's running his routes, he's going to find a little way to get a little tug, get a little hand-to-hand combat. So Bellinger's got to do a really good job of not just with his routes creating separation, but you're going to have to use some physical force. You're going to have to get the elbow out there. Don't extend with the arm, but use the flipper. That's kind of the vet move. But for Bellinger, I think he's got really good hands. This could be a really good game for him against Jabril Peppers, who I think is really better as a tackler and better coming downhill than he is actually as a cover safety.
One thing to keep in mind, Sean, New England has the 4th best defense in the NFL against tight ends. They were only allowing an average of 4 catches for 39 yards a game to opposing tight ends.
That's impressive, yeah.
That is really, really good.
And you know this, any Patriots defense, Bill Belichick coaching them, they are great at taking the football away. So for Daniel Bellinger, when you catch that ball and any receiver running back, put it away as quick as possible because they're really good at knocking it out.
Okay, let's see who's up next. We've got another tight end, Hunter Henry, against Dane Belton of the Giants, who's getting a lot more playing time because of injuries in the secondary recently. Now, as far as Henry is concerned, he is steady. He only has 2 drops against 30 catches this year. You know, he's not a big, sexy name, but he just makes plays. You can't fall asleep on him.
You really got to focus on playing the hand, playing the man, instead of looking back and trying to get a pick. Because, you know, anytime you look back, you know, the quarterback can put a good ball and he's going to catch it, like you said. So you really want to focus on, you know, just trying to get the ball out and not letting him catch it, opposed to trying to, you know, make a play. But, you know, there's a time and place for everything. We're going to, you know, try to get picks and things like that. But, you know, when we're man-to-man, we're going to try to make sure he can't get the ball.
Well, I know Dane Belton's looking forward to this matchup because I think he matches up well with Hunter Henry. I think that their physical skills, they're both physical players. They both are pretty strong. I don't think speed is the #1 category for either one of these guys. So this is a great matchup. Paul, you mentioned the production right here for Hunter Henry. 3 touchdowns on the season. He started out the season on fire. Back-to-back touchdowns in weeks 1 and week 2. He's gone 8 games and he's only has 1 touchdown in those last 8 games. So that production is kind of sloughed off. I think that's just kind of what's going on with the Patriots offense right there, not so much Hunter Henry. But here's the challenge for Dane Belton. This matchup with Hunter Henry, he is so crafty with creating a little separation, especially down in the red zone. Now, you look at a lot of the plays and even those touchdown plays and some of the other catches he has this season, they are contested catches. This guy has unbelievable hands. He will snatch that ball right out of the air. So the challenge for Dane Belton is you can't just run with him. You can't just say, all right, I'm in his hip pocket. They're not going to throw him the football because they will. They trust him enough. That ball is coming out even if you're right there. So the thing for Dane Belton is he's got to get his head around, Paul. He's got to locate that ball, right? And you've got to find a way to make a play on it. You can't just, you know, be lackadaisical and think that you've got him covered because that ball is coming to you. Dane Belton, obviously, his play time has increased as the season's gone along. Only around 135 snaps on the season. But you can see, look, he's making an impact. And I think for Dane Belton, the one thing that he really loves to do, obviously, he loves to hit. He's a thumper. When the Giants drafted him, it was to bring him downhill and get him to help out stop the run. But the Patriots love their 2 tight end sets. So you're going to see Hunter Henry and Gesicki line up on the same side. And that's where Dane Belton's going to have to figure out where are the rub routes, what are they trying to do. They're trying to disguise it like it's a run, but they build a lot of play action from that. So Hunter Henry down the seam, that's where he seems to make a lot of his hay. And for Dane Belton, I know that's something he's going to be working on this entire week, getting that head around, finding a way to make the play on the ball while it's in the air.
Belton tied his season high with 5 tackles last weekend on only 23 snaps. Very high productivity, and the Giants this year have only given up 2 touchdown passes to tight ends all season long. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Head to Head. Let's go back to Bob.
Carl, Jabril Peppers has been a nice fit in this New England defense. And obviously the Giants threw the ball to Daniel Bellinger with Darren Waller still being hurt. Look for Peppers, right, to be on Bellinger a little bit and not let him make plays?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's a primary receiver, I'm sure they're going to do something to make sure that Peppers is disruptive to that process.
And the Patriots have had some issues at quarterback, so it's incumbent upon the Giants defensively to make sure that they don't let the Patriots tight ends, whether it's Hunter Henry or Mike Gesicki, get going.
Well, and Mike Gesicki is a really good pass receiver, more so than just a blocking inline tight end. He can actually operate in space relatively well.
Got a lot more to come here on the program when we come back. Over Under with Madeline Burke. She'll be joined by Amani Toomer and Sean O'Hara after this timeout on the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford.
What do you think about
Oh, I'm with that.
that might work. What you think about
Oh, yeah. You got to get down there, or we can call from the 50.
Yeah. I mean, we don't got to call it down. Can you run? Can you score? Can you score from 50 or 60?
I can run.
I might be an OC in the future. And if that hits, I might have to be. You ready?
Let's do it, man.
You know what's coming?
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Got to finish it.
Play fake to Barkley. DeVito back, throws it back. Wide open Bellinger at the 10. Stiff arms his man and knocked down at the 5-yard line.
Hey, man. I don't want to hear it. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
DeVito takes the snap, back, fires one right to Barkley, makes the catch, reaches for the touchdown.
Love you, Jordan. Hey, listen, that's bull. I'll take the touchdown though, but hey, that's bull. Hey, I'm telling you, man, I'm seeing it.
Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford. Saquon Barkley was a force in that Giant win against Washington. Now it's time for this week's edition of Over Under. Here's Madeline Burke.
Thanks so much. Time now for Week 12 Over Under, brought to you by the New York Lottery. Madeline Burke, Sean O'Hara, and Amani Toomer play in the game. We'll throw out a number and see if we think we'll go over or under as the Giants host the Patriots on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Tommy DeVito, Sean, getting his third straight start. First start at MetLife Stadium. Over under 2 passing touchdowns for Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over for touchdown Tommy. His initials are TD, so let's give him at least 3. I think when you look at the improvement that we saw from his first start to his second start, dramatic. And I think the fact that he's going up against this Patriots defense, this is the worst Patriots defense in Bill Belichick's entire tenure with the Patriots. So there's going to be ample opportunity. They are not a big blitzing team, Amani, so I think he's going to have a little more time in the pocket to kind of decipher the code a little bit. He's been very accurate when he's given time in that pocket.
Yeah, versus Judon left, the Patriots really don't have the push in terms of getting the sacks. So I think Tommy DeVito is going to have a great opportunity. I think he's going to go over. The improvement, like you said, like you stated, from week 1 to week 2 and week 3, I think he's going to get even better. He's proving himself to be a valuable asset for this New York Giants team, a quarterback that can come in and win you some games and not turn the ball over.
I'm going to agree with you guys there. Give me the over for the passing paisano. He's had multiple passing touchdowns in each of his first 2 starts. Let's keep the streak rolling at home at MetLife Stadium.
It's going to be on a t-shirt soon. You know
I
that.
feel like it's got to be on a t-shirt soon. It's a great nickname.
Yeah.
The nickname just makes itself. All right, Amani, over under 125 all-purpose yards for Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I'm going to go over. I feel like Saquon is hitting a streak. He's hitting his stride. He looks like he has the pop back in his step. Once he gets the ball, there's some explosion that you see. Keep feeding him the rock. Every week we've been talking about more and more, and now he's not only doing it on the ground, that nice touchdown he caught last week as well.
Yeah.
I definitely think Saquon's going to make a statement and go over.
Yeah, I'm going to take over 125 all-purpose yards. That catch was phenomenal, the way that he elevated, got the feet down. So, look, there was a couple of other plays that he was lined up as a receiver, and we just couldn't get him the ball. There was a screen play. They're finding some wrinkles. Mike Kafka, I think, now that he knows, hey, Tommy DeVito is a little bit more, he's a little bit more comfortable with all of the normal plays. Now he can add some more wrinkles. So I expect to see Saquon getting the ball a lot more in space. Nothing wrong with some regular screens. I haven't seen a regular screen in a while. Let's go ahead and sprinkle a couple of those in. And, of course, on the ground game, look, he only had 14 carries last week, but he's averaging 5.9 yards a carry. They just have to do a better job early in the game with successful runs so you get more reps at it.
Just sprinkle a few of those in there, right? Just sprinkle them in. I'm going to take the over as well because I don't see any reason why not to. Saquon Barkley has been a pivotal piece of this Giants offense, and even though the Patriots, as you hear them preparing for this game in the press conferences and media avails, they're saying, hey, we know that Saquon is the guy we have to zero in on. That doesn't matter. Saquon has been playing at a high level this season. I think he's going to take the over on 125 all-purpose yards. All right, finally, the Giants defense has been the strength of this team. Sean, over or under 3 takeaways for this Giants defense?
I'm going to take the over on this one. 5 interceptions in the last 2 games alone. We obviously saw the big turnover game, 6 total takeaways against Washington. I like the over in this for a number of reasons, but not just because this is Thanksgiving week. Everybody's giving things away. I think the Patriots offense, it's been stuck in neutral, maybe even reverse if you want. They have not done a great job in the passing game or the running game. They're not moving the ball very well. I don't know who's playing quarterback, Amani, but I know this. There's going to be opportunities to come away with it. We've got to catch it. We had a couple balls bounce off some chests and some hands defensively. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter who starts because last week, Mac Jones gets benched for Zappe.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much turmoil in the New England Patriots offense that I feel like there's going to be opportunity. Somebody's going to try to do too much, try to make a big play and secure their spot as a quarterback. And that's when things go wrong. So I'm going to go over on this. I think they're going to have more than 3 turnovers because this defense has been playing consistently well the entire season.
The defense has absolutely been playing well. They're a bunch of thieves, and give me larceny this week. Let's take the over as well. They're going to be like, give me more. And like you said, Sean, it's the season of giving, Thanksgiving week. I think that whomever is the quarterback or skill position players maybe might be very charitable with the ball for this Giants defense. Love to see it. That's a wrap for Week 12 Over/Under, brought to you by the New York Lottery. Let's send it back to Bob.
Carl, a lot of factors in this game. First, Tommy DeVito protected the football and didn't turn it over, and the Giants were super aggressive in taking the football away. Those are things that are going to have to continue for this team.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, when you play complementary football, you do what it takes on either side of the ball, and including special teams. So, no doubt, as the offense was slow to get started, the defense kept getting them opportunities by turning the ball over from Washington.
Yeah, and when you're playing defense like that, then punts are not a bad thing, right? I mean,
punts are a good thing. When you can play, you have the confidence that your defense can go out, stop, or get a turnover and get you the ball back. Just keep plugging away at it offensively until you find something.
And make sure you stop the run. The Giants will see their old friend Ezekiel Elliott, the former Cowboy, who's now with the Patriots. When we come back in the program, Carl goes to the coach's tape for strategy here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Giants and Patriots Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Time for strategy with Carl Banks. We go to the coach's tape, and Carl, the Patriots have a good running attack, and they've got a veteran presence in Ezekiel Elliott, but they really like to lean on the young guy, Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, Bob, and here's the key. It's not just relying on the young guy, but it's these guys up front. When you see how connected they are in their blocking schemes here. Now, you've got pretty much 4 guys to one side, 2 to the other, and they're going to run it at the bubble here. But just watch every block is had. There's no free body. So this offensive line is disciplined, and you have a runner who can get to the hole and get to the second level, but this is their offensive line. Now, once he gets through there, he's off and running. And take another example of it. You're going to look, you're going to see this is just going to be a basic draw. They'll put the middle linebacker, who's going to be hesitant, in space because he's going to look for the tight end thinking it's going to be a pass, but the tight end stops right at him and blocks him. So just take a look here. He's thinking his tight end is in a route, and then he said, oh, he's got me. He's got to shoot this gap because that hesitancy allowed the back to run right by him.
Yeah, so it's really like a mano-a-mano kind of situation with what they want to do and really influence you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and you have to be able to defeat your guy at the point of attack. That's all they want to get you tied up at the point of attack so that the runner can get to the second level.
And they want to play a muddy game like the Giants want to play a muddy game. Now, let's take a look at New England on the defensive side of the ball, and we know with Coach Belichick, expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. Now, they know that the Miami Dolphins can get you deep. right? So what they're going to do, they're going to have a safety here who's going to manipulate the quarterback. And against the Dolphins, that's not easy to do. And the Dolphins will scheme it. So I'll run this, and you'll see the safety, this safety here, the two-deep safety, he's got half the field. But he's holding the half, and you can see he's trying to bait the quarterback by looking inside, making him think that this guy's wide open. So he turns his shoulders, quarterback sees it, he reverses his shoulders, comes back around, makes an interception. Now that's a play that the great Ed Reed would make to bait quarterbacks into a mistake, but he's showing cover two. If he expands right away against Hill, the quarterback knows, but he baits him into a mistake, and that's something that Tommy DeVito will have to be alert for. Here's another one. This is the same concept that the Giants ran this past week. Guy here, guy either here or back behind him. What they want to do is create conflict for the intermediate coverage guy. But you can see the quarterback, he's either going to throw it here or they were going to wait until something comes behind him. Very disciplined, the safety is here. That's Jabril Peppers, and he makes a play just falling back on it. So as a quarterback, especially a young guy like Tommy DeVito, you have to be very decisive with the football because they're just passing everything and widening it out. And once they widen it out, quarterback throws it into the hands of the defender.
Yeah, so that's going to be one of the things that the Giants are going to have to deal with. And obviously, Tommy DeVito is going to get a chance to go against a Bill Belichick defense. You know they're going to want to take Saquon Barkley away.
Yeah.
And DeVito's going to have to make good decisions with the football. We're going to take a timeout on the program. When we come back, Paul Dottino and Amani Toomer join us for Above the Numbers here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford.
New York Giants football is on the air. It's the New York Football Giants and the New England Patriots. Super Bowl 46.
How many of y'all want it today?
Takes the snap, back to throw. Throws one left. Touchdown Giants. Victor Cruz on the slant. And he does the salsa in the Patriots end zone.
This is still a Cruz and Knicks game, but those are still the guys. Make them go to Manningham.
Climbs the pocket. Deep ball down the left sideline, and it's going to be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes! Manningham on the sideline.
Catch. Right. Left. Yes! Yes!
Handoff Bradshaw. He runs up the middle. Oh, and he falls into the end zone for the touchdown. He thought about stopping.
One play away. I can't stay still. I can't stay still.
Down the middle of the field into the end zone. A jump ball. And it's incomplete. And the ball game's over. And the Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
The Giants beat the Patriots for a second time in the Super Bowl, capturing Super Bowl 46 in Indianapolis. Once again, Eli Manning was the game's MVP. As we welcome you back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford, time for Above the Numbers with Paul Dottino and Amani Toomer.
Okay, so let's go above the numbers for the Giants game against the Patriots on Sunday. Amani, who's up first?
Oh, we got Isaiah Hodgins. I think this is a guy who ended up last year being Daniel Jones's kind of safety blanket, catching the ball over the middle, doing some real work. Now, he hasn't really got the opportunity to play as much. I thought last year after his 100-yard playoff game, he kind of arrived, but then you draft some rookies, and all of a sudden, he gets behind the 8 ball a little bit, and now he's trying to fight his way back onto the field. But last week, he had 2 catches, and, he's starting to get back in the quarterback's ire. And, maybe with the new quarterback, Tommy DeVito, Isaiah Hodgins is a guy, big body, could be an answer when it comes down to the red zone.
Yeah, it's been tough to get wide receiver snaps with that room right now, Amani. In fact, on the season, he's only played 49% of the Giants' offensive snaps. Against Arizona this year, he did have a season-high 4 catches for 40 yards. By comparison, last season, he had 4 consecutive games with at least 4 catches, and he also had 4 touchdowns in a 5-game stretch. So we know he's got it in him.
Yeah, I'm always partial to the big body receivers. I think this is a guy that can really do some work, especially in the red zone.
All right. I'm going to go to defense and take Isaiah Simmons. Now, we all know what he did last week. 54-yard pick six, the second of his career, had 4 tackles in that ball game. But here's what I want to talk about with him. It's only the second time this season he's played at least 30 snaps in a game. He's part of the sub package. He's more of a pass defender than he is a blitzer, which is what we thought he was going to be when he got to the Giants. Well, here's why that's important. Because the New England Patriots throw the ball 60% of the time. They're among the top 10 NFL offenses in throwing, which means Simmons will get a lot of opportunities to make plays this week.
Yeah, coming over from Arizona, I think he's finally starting to get the idea of what this defense is all about. That's why you're seeing increased production and the pick 6 last week.
Okay, who has to go below the numbers for the Giants to win?
Football's a simple game. You got to block and tackle, and one thing you have to do is stop the run. Ezekiel Elliott is our nemesis from the Cowboys, and now he's in the Patriots uniform. Hopefully, we can contain him a little bit better than we did when he was on the Cowboys.
Yeah, let's talk about what he did against the Giants in 12 career games while he was with Dallas. Remember, signed with the Patriots during the offseason as a free agent. He had 9 different games with touchdowns, averaged 83 yards a game on the ground against Big Blue, 4 100-yard games. And by the way, I think there's some kind of karma about MetLife Stadium because he had his best game of the season with New England against the Jets at MetLife. 16 carries for 80 yards. This 3-time All-Pro is a load when he gets it going.
And he looks like he's got a little spark back in his step. I saw a couple carries this past weekend. He looks pretty good.
He better not have that spark this week if the Giants are going to win. Yeah. That'll do it for Above the Numbers this week. Let's go back to Bob.
Carl, with the uncertainty at the quarterback position for the Patriots, with Mac Jones having been the starter, Bailey Zappi coming in the games, you got to think that Bill Belichick's going to want to rely on his running game to keep this game under control.
Yeah, Bob, whatever or whoever is playing the quarterback position, you have to scout the entire offensive construct and what they like to do. They're going to put a guy back there who can do what they like to do. So you have to prepare for just their scheme.
And the other thing, too, is, Isaiah Simmons, a growing role with the Giants. He had the pick 6 to kind of emphatically close out that game last week. But his athleticism seems to be a perfect fit in Wink's defense.
Well, he's coming along really good, Bob, and they're finding some really good roles for him as a blitzer and as a cover guy. He can do a lot of things with his skill set, and I think he's finding the fit, and Wink is really finding really unique ways to use him and to really disguise.
When we come back, 3 things, plus Coach Daboll rejoins us to preview the Giants and Patriots here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Giants and Patriots, MetLife Stadium on Sunday. Time to turn it over to Madeline Burke and 3 things.
It's week 12 and the Giants are back at MetLife Stadium hosting the New England Patriots. I'm Madeline Burke with 3 things that you need to know. Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito is making his 3rd consecutive start. In his 3 previous games played, he's thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in each and has thrown multiple touchdown passes in each of his 2 previous starts. Last week, his passer rating of 137.7 was the highest passer rating of any undrafted quarterback. And Wink Martindale's defense is known to have a pass rush that comes from all angles, but in his 6 seasons as defensive coordinator, he's never had a player with double-digit sacks until now. Kayvon Thibodeau's 2 sacks in Week 11 put him at 10.5 on the season. He's got double-digit sacks just through 11 games. Now, the Giants are facing a Patriots team that scored over 20 points just once this season. They were on a 3-game losing streak heading into their bye last week, but the Bill Belichick-coached Patriots have a 16-7 record coming off the bye. The Giants host the Patriots at 1 p.m. Sunday at MetLife Stadium. That's a wrap for 3 things you need to know.
And we're rejoined by Giants head coach Brian Daboll as we get you set for the Giants and the New England Patriots at MetLife Stadium. All right, the Patriots are coming off a bye. You spent a lot of time with Bill Belichick. You broke in under Coach Belichick. What has always made him dangerous coming off byes in your time with him?
Well, he's just an exceptional coach. Smart, organized, detailed, has a plan. I've learned a great deal from him. I owe him, a ton. He gave me my first opportunity in this league, and between him and the Kraft family, I got a lot of respect for that organization.
Coach, having played for Bill Belichick, I kind of understand how you feel about that. And the one thing that you tend to know as you've been on the staff and you've coached against him, that his teams are always well prepared. And it's almost like more games are lost than won in this league, and he wants to make sure that his teams are always prepared.
Yeah, you couldn't say it any better. That's, I've heard that I can't tell you how many times in my, over 10 plus years of being able to work for him is, no stone is unturned. Before you win, you got to stop from losing.
Yeah.
You got to take care of the big things and the musts for each game. And again, got a ton of respect from him. Learned a great deal, and he's one of the best to ever do it.
One of the issues that the Patriots have had this year is being consistent offensively, but they've got two talented backs. Ramondre Stevenson had a big run for a touchdown, a 64-yarder a couple of weeks ago, and Ezekiel Elliott, feed him the ball. He's been in the league forever. The Giants have played against Zeke a lot. Do you expect, like, the Patriots to kind of rely on that run game in this game this week?
Yeah, I guess that's, you never know when you're getting ready to play against Coach Belichick team and Coach O'Brien. I think they, are fantastic coaches, but, the running game, that's where it usually starts. That's where it has started with those two guys that have power, explosion, speed, obviously some production. In Zeke's case, a ton of production throughout his career, and Stevenson is one heck of a player. He can take it the distance. So between their front and their scheme, they run a variety of runs, inside, toss cracks, gap schemes, pulls. They have a variety of things they do, and they're good at it.
And they got two tight ends that have been in the league a while now, Hunter Henry and then Mike Gesicki coming over from Miami. So it gives them that other option, right, for a quarterback's best friend as tight ends?
Yeah, and they both have good hands. They can create separation their own unique way. Gesicki's, long and kind of shifty, linear, but kind of shifty and flexible to go ahead and make a lot of unique catches outside the framework of his body. He's got great length in that regard.
And just finally, when you look at the Patriots from a defensive standpoint now, they lost Matthew Judon, which was a big loss for them because he was such a fantastic player, and the rookie cornerback got hurt earlier this year. But having been with Coach Belichick and gone against Coach Belichick in your time in Buffalo and everywhere else that you've been, is it almost you go into the game, expect the unexpected from him defensively, especially with a week off?
Yeah, usually the game will declare at some point here, it's the middle of the first quarter, the end of the first quarter, to decide what they're, kind of how they want to play you and who they want to take away and how they want to defend it. And then there's always another wrinkle in the second half that maybe he kind of holds in his pocket. So you always got to be communicating and making adjustments throughout the entire game, not just, at halftime. It really starts from the beginning, goes all the way to the end.
You've seen that every now and then, right?
Yep. About it well.
Well, Coach, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Thanks for a couple minutes as always, and good luck on Sunday.
Same to you guys. Appreciate it.
This week's game between the Giants and the New England Patriots is brought to you by Ford, the official vehicle of the New York Giants. Make sure after the game you check out Giants Postgame Live for all the reaction of the Giants and Patriots on Sunday from MetLife Stadium. So for Carl Banks, Coach Daboll, and our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford.